go.
All right.
This is when we need video.
Video podcast.
The
All
fuck
right.
was that?
I don't know. I'm amping myself up. Goddamn perfectionist. Just clip that off later. All right.
No, we won't.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Nerdcast podcast. Not your regular dialogue. I am the one and only Toner, and I have the rest of the Nerdcast crew with me here today as well. We have Joe Dust.
At buttholes.
Jay.
Hello.
Big Matt.
What's up, my nerds?
And Sound Guy Steve.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, sire.
Beautiful.
Your guests are here.
Welcome.
Hello.
Very beautiful. Come over here. Sit down. Would you like some wine, some grapes,
Huh?
some meat?
Welcome to the realm. I'm the king of club. Power shots of vibe, absolute corruption. Pour me some crown and get me out the dungeon. Topic too low, can't change the subject. Let's hit the road, baganated.
Let's get into our unofficial beer sponsor. Jay, who are we drinking today?
All right, we've gone local again with Four Hands Brewery, downtown St. Louis. We've got the Resurrected IPA and the Cast Iron Oatmeal Brown. Both of them are pretty good, in my opinion.
I've had the I'm drinking the Resurrected right now. It's money in the bank. Thank you, Four Hands. And I'm sure our speech will be heavily slurred later as well.
And I didn't mean the butthole thing that I said. I just get nervous.
All right. Matthew,
Sir.
as always, you got to keep me on track.
Sir.
What are we starting off with today?
We got Joe Dust coming back from Chi-Town, where he was at Lollapalooza. Let's hear about it.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll start off with that then. I'll go through this quick. I think my best bands, my favorite that I saw, it's not really in any order, but I'll go with Glass Animals. They were Tizite. 21 Pilots was awesome.
See, 21 Pilots, the only one I recognized from them was the one they put on the point, was like Stolen Radio or whatever.
Yeah.
See,
They-
I love how
they
that one,
played
it's
a
real.
few.
It's like he's real talk, and all of a sudden, and boom, it drops.
Mhm.
It's just, I like that one a lot. That's good.
Now
They-
you said
they've got a lot of good-
silent.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
They've got a lot of good music.
Yeah, and live,
They're really good live.
I mean, if you're into like jumping all over the place and backflips off of pianos and stuff like that, and that's only two guys, and they're freaking awesome.
they have a big following that like showed up at the show. I
Yes,
guess?
it was a ton of people.
Yeah.
And they were camping out for hours, too, waiting for them.
I think they typically sell out here when they come.
Yeah, they probably, I think, well, their album was #1 in the country not
Really?
long ago, because all their fans, like, literally went out and bought 7 or 8 copies just to ramp it up. So, yeah, they were cool. Tame Impala, they were cool. They were one of my top 5 I wanted to see. They're awesome. I'll lump all these 3 into one. Metallica, Paul McCartney, and Florence and the Machine. They were kind of like the headliners, but all 3 were great. Florence got cut off because there was a thunderstorm rolling in, and she's like, "Do you all see the sky out there?" And that's how she talks. She's like, "There's a thunderstorm coming, and I have to get off stage."
So
She sounds like Mary Poppins.
So they're Brits. I'm
Yeah,
getting
she
from
is.
that.
But in the
Would you
last
think
song,
they'd be used to dark gloominess. You know?
yeah, she's like, she said something like, "Storms follow me wherever I go," and she took her shirt off in the last song, and she was in her bra, and she was running around the crowd in the middle, which is cool, I guess.
Nice.
And the last 2 I liked a lot were Cold War Kids and Catfish and the Bottlemen. Those 2 were very good live. And I'll run through this really quick. So I went with my friend Jessica, and she gave me permission to talk about this in the podcast.
And this is not just 2 dunks on Tony.
No, this is not Tony's wife. Although
Much
Tony's
smaller
wife
guest.
was texting me during the last day, maybe, or second day, about the podcast because she said it was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think she's heard episode 8 yet, so she'll
No,
change her mind.
She'll be offended. But Jessica, first off, was floored with how many 18-year-old girls were there that wear the booty jean shorts. So her phone literally has about 60 to 70 photos of girls' asses. And I told her she could get away with that because she's female, and
Well,
so it's not as creepy.
And see, we talked about that this weekend. That's the fashion now. They cut them off so short.
Yeah.
whereas now the pockets
Mhm.
hang out underneath the cutoff part of it.
Yeah.
And I think that looks ridiculous.
And it
So
also...
stupid.
It's the dumbest thing I've seen.
White
It's-
trash.
It's
Yeah.
very
And
trashy.
it doesn't matter how you're built. Trust me, it does not matter how you're built.
No shyness at
Saw a
all.
lot of camel toe, but not on any camels.
How about moose toe, maybe?
Moose Knuckle.
Moose knuckles,
Yeah,
maybe?
there was. Okay, so the next little quip about Jess that was hilarious was when Paul McCartney took the stage, she turned to me. She goes, "He's from the Beatles, right?"
Oh, man.
And I was like, "Jess, Do not say that
How
very
old
much
is
louder.
Jess then?
He's from that Kanye
She's
song, right?
Like
Yeah.
a couple years older than me. She's like 35.
How does one go through life not knowing this?
You guys do remember that, right?
34,
When,
whatever.
real quick, Kanye West did a song or he featured Paul McCartney on a song.
Yep.
And all of Kanye's, they're all tween millennial douchebags.
Yeah.
They're all like, oh man, look at Kanye, always finding these, super or these sleeper artists. I'm like, oh,
This
Jesus
guy's going to
Christ.
get big.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, he's been big for long before Kanye arrived or was
Right.
born.
Yeah, he's like 70.
Probably
but-
will be after Kanye.
Okay, and the last two things I will say about Jess, and I told her she's too nice to guys, and she's too nice to especially drunk guys. So there was a point during Metallica, and early in their set, I go, hey, I got to run up the hill real quick and take a leak. So I ran up there. I was back no later, 10, 15 minutes later. So there's this douchey-looking drunk guy. He had like 4 popped collars, and he's got like the loafers on and he,
that's the new fad, the sailorboat loafer
he looked
thing.
like a chubby
Yeah.
sailor, basically, is what he looked like. He looked like Chris Farley before he got coked out, And so, and so this dude's just like talking to Jess, and so Jess is like asking me, she's like, I'm gonna act like I gotta go get some beer. Maybe the guy will walk away. And I like literally saying, or you can just tell him to fuck off. I'm like, he's a drunk guy. Nobody cares. Like, he saw you standing by yourself for 10 minutes. And he's like, oh, cool, little blind girl. I'm gonna go talk to her. So he literally stood there for 45 minutes during
a Metallica
Metallica,
set. That's the
which
part
I
of it.
distanced myself. I'm like, fine, you talk to him. I'm gonna watch Metallica. How many times do I get to see them? And so finally we went up the hill away from him and lost him in the crowd, and that's when I told her, I'm like, dude, you're way too tolerant of drunk men. And that kind of ties into the next day where we got evacuated from Grant Park because a storm was rolling in. So thousands and thousands of people got evacuated. There's like a guy, he's probably 19, 20 years old, he's young. Seemed like a very decent dude, but we met him all of 30 seconds. He goes, yeah, I'm in town for a bachelor party, and everybody else left yesterday. I'm going to find a place to stay tonight. Jess goes, we have a hotel room? And I looked at her, I'm like,
God.
dude, we literally met this guy a minute ago.
So,
And
what was the criteria for her really saying this? Was it goes back to our last episode where women are shallow as men? Was it because he was a good-looking 20-year-old?
No,
Okay,
he really wasn't. He's just a nice guy, and she's not shallow like that.
Yeah.
I don't think.
She's the trusting
if you are,
person that
text
would pull
me.
over for a
She
hitchhiker.
would pull over for a hitchhiker.
If she was, she'll text me and tell me to fuck off pretty soon. No, but she, and I was just like, Jess, no.
He could
you
rape
don't
and
just
kill you.
Yeah, you don't offer your hotel
Or
up to this
Joe.
guy, or the worst case scenario, not rape. He could take like $300 out of the minibar. Which I did get
'Cause you
charged.
could get past
FYI,
that.
Hard Rock Hotel in Chicago charged me $14.80 from the minibar.
For what?
They said I took 3 Pepsis, so I immediately went downstairs. I go, I didn't even open this shit because I read your reviews not to open this because it's all censored.
Mhm.
So they removed it, but I think they try to pull fast ones on you.
$14.80 for 3 Pepsis.
Yes.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
They are
It's
nice
like beer- it's like
Pepsis,
beer at the
though.
States.
They're
That's
nice
what it is.
Pepsis. Yeah, they
Were
come
the
with
cans
like,
made from the blood of virgins? I mean, it better be for fucking.
it shoots you with
$5.
a Axe body spray when you drink it. And really, aside from that, it was very hot every day. It was like 90 degrees every day in Chicago. And then, lo and behold, the day we leave, the whole forecast for the next week's like 75. I'm like, awesome. I hate you, Chicago.
90 degrees and 30,000 people in one spot.
Oh, well, yeah, in one spot. Overall, the park, they get about 100,000 a day. So it's
Jesus.
just like wall-to-wall.
We're gonna get to know each other.
It's
very
wall-to-wall
intimately.
roofies and ass
So
shorts.
did you have
and
more of your sweat or other people's sweat on you?
both on some days. Yeah. Both on some days. I mean, I broke out. I had a couple zits on my arm when I get back, and I'm pretty sure it's not from me. And I want to give a shout-out
STD
also.
or two, maybe.
Lollapalooza has great food, and I want to give a shout-out, and I'm sure Jess would too, to Wow Bao Hot Asian Buns. They're pretty reasonably priced.
Food truck kind of thing. Or?
Well, it's like the taste of Chicago basically is there. So there's just tents as far as you can see of just different restaurants and Wow Bao.
Now, did you
Hot
get,
Asian
did you get
buns.
to
Yep. Yeah.
did you
I
get to
saw that
see every
movie.
single band of your top 5 bands you were most looking forward
The only
to
band I
seeing?
did not see were the Wombats, and that's pretty much because they played at noon on the last day, and by that day you're pretty wiped out. So we got there at like 2 o'clock or 1:30 or something last day, and then it rained, which is awesome. And that was about it.
That's because
It was
Chicago's a
pretty
shithole.
Oh.
Chicago's an awesome city.
There's our first time.
Yeah.
Can we? I want to offend an entire city.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to offend an
large
entire
city,
city
no
later.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The place
That
that,
has
I
a
work
lot of
for,
guns.
we've flown there since my place of employment, airline, we've flown
Why are you
through
putting
there.
everything in air quotes right now?
Because I work for the airline, and it's a shithole. Chicago here sucks monkey ass.
Because all of our listeners can see those air quotes.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Whatever.
oh, he's not being
it
serious.
sucks, okay? It sucks.
I don't know. I kind of like Chicago, to be honest. And I was pleasantly
here's
surprised
the
that I
other
ran into
question.
zero traffic on the way up or back, which never happens.
Nice.
But what about in the city?
No, nothing.
Miracle.
Yeah, it was like I got delayed maybe 5 minutes total. It was awesome
Wow.
because usually it's at least an hour.
Did you go to the south side of Chicago?
No, I made that mistake first, Lyle. I filled up gas, and I was the only white boy in a sea of all Mexican billboards.
Roll them up, kids.
Nice.
Yeah, I was.
Did they steal your hubcaps while you were giving directions?
No, but they were licking their lips, and I'm pretty sure I saw 8 switchblades.
So here's another question to pose to you. Have you reached that point where you're going, am I too old to be doing this?
Yeah, I kind of thought about that this week because really up until about yesterday, I was still tired, and I got back like 5-6 days ago. So I mean,
We saw 2 bands on Friday night, and I feel that way.
That's the way I felt. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm teetering on the border of my too old, or at least we're at that point where you have to spend the extra money for the VIP tickets to have a place to not have to deal with.
I know.
the
yes,
crazy
because you didn't
crowd.
get railroad like I did.
Well, okay, so Jay and I went to a Greek Fire Taking Back Sunday show here at Ballpark Village. And Greek Fire is a local St. Louis band, and they put on a hell of a show. Because Jay was telling you, you've seen them before.
I've seen them twice, and
Yeah.
every time it's just an amazing show.
And they feed off crowd energy, and they just bring it.
Moon, the lead
hardcore,
singer's
yeah.
in the crowd.
Yeah.
He plays guitar in the crowd.
And he spent more time in the crowd than he did on stage.
And he's cute.
He climbed up on one of the buildings and sang a song from the top of the building there, too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool when he did that. And so they started things off really nice. But, I mean, we got there around, I guess, 7, because the show didn't even start till 8.
Show started at 8, gates opened at 6, and there was a huge line by the time we got there.
And then Taking Back Sunday didn't go on till about 9, I guess.
Yeah, it was a little after 9.
And so you're about 3 hours in of us. Well, no, I guess 2 hours at that point of being there, and it's just it was not cold. We'll say that it was
No.
hot, dude. It was freaking hot.
Yes.
And Taking Back Sunday, I didn't realize how much of a following they had here in St. Louis, but they had some rabid fans, we'll say the least.
Yes.
It was unbelievable.
And they talked about the first time they played here, and there were 2 people, the
2 people
bartender and
showed
a
up.
regular.
The bartender and a guy that just goes to that bar all the time.
Yeah.
So there really wasn't anyone there. So they didn't have much hope to come back here, but they were, I guess, swindled to come back and put on a good show.
It was a good show, though. I mean, they played their big hits. They played some stuff I didn't know, which I liked. So
Because it was my first exposure to them. I
Yeah.
had not really followed anything that they had ever done.
I sent Matt a few YouTube videos before
Yeah,
just to
and
get him familiar.
I liked it. I liked what I saw. I liked what I heard. It was fun. The energy was great.
Yeah.
The guy just sang his ass off. I mean,
And-
he puts everything into it.
And, I mean, they talk between songs,
The
and
guy
they were
the
hilarious.
lead singer was hilarious in between. Yeah. But the 2 highlights of the show. These are my 2 highlights, and I'll save the second highlight for you because you were experienced in it. The first highlight was Girl on Meth that got right up in my face and had the craziest fucking demon eyes I've ever seen in my life, dude. She was out of control. I know being passionate for a band, but this girl she was on something. She had to be on something because she almost took out my wife like twice, I think, because she was
she
just
was in-
bulldozing back and forth.
Yeah,
between
she
going
was
to
in
get more
front of
beer.
us and then behind
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
and-
She couldn't stay in one spot. She just couldn't figure out, I need to stay in one spot, which, she's on something. She's just popping around. It was crazy.
Or maybe she just really likes the band, you fucking jerk.
No, dude. These were the eyes of the devil.
Yeah, the most you ever do is coke before you go see a band. I don't do
Oh,
meth.
Touche.
No. But then the second highlight of the show was when we lost Jay and his wife. But it wasn't because they went to go check out something.
We didn't walk anywhere.
You didn't go. No.
So instead of doing their encore,
Well, he went through a whole spiel about the
Yeah.
encore.
they weren't going to go backstage and huddle up and say what a good show it was, and all of a sudden hear everyone chanting one more song. So they were just going to play 2 more songs. And so they played cut from the team, cute without the E.
Yep.
And right as they started it, I feel a shoulder go into my back. There was apparently a line of guys that decided they wanted to start moshing and just plowed through me and Aaron. We went up about 20 feet into
Dude, it
the
was
crowd.
more than 20 feet because you guys were gone.
We were gone,
I
yeah.
couldn't see you anymore. Like I was there. Jay and his wife were sitting right next to us, and all of a sudden I see a train of smedium shirts go flying through, and I mean full speed. They had to
Full
run
speed.
up from 20 yards back to get headed up to full speed. And I looked to my side, and there's a big empty gap of where you two were standing, and you guys were just gone.
We both tried to stop. They just kept pushing. So I turned and swung at somebody, and Aaron, as a result of that, fell down. We got completely separated at that point. I
Jesus.
connected with somebody, and then they just kept going.
Yeah, they didn't care.
So I come back, and I'm like,
you didn't come back. You came limping.
I
back,
came
dude.
limping back.
You were taken out.
yeah, my ankle was.
And it was at
done
that point.
at
The reason why I
point.
asked Joe was, "Do you feel like you're getting too old?" I was like, at that point, I feel like I might be a little bit too old to be dealing with this nonsense at this point.
You know, another thing I just thought of how I felt older or maybe different from the crowd was Jessica and I would take like an over the shoulder like pack, you know, just with like you could just put whatever like sunscreen in and stuff. And so if you had a bag, you had to go in one certain line. If you didn't, you just go through the express lane. So we'd switch on and off every once in a while. I'm like, yeah, here, I'll just get bag check. Well, I didn't realize when they zipped open our large pouch of the bag the last day, there were like 5 or 6 tampons in there. And so, of course, it's not like the guy looks at me because it's me carrying it.
Carrying
So
tampons.
he takes out each one individually and shaking it because he thinks I have like joints in the tampons. He goes, it looks legit. And I'm like, boy, I'm like, it's hers. It's hers. Yeah. That was probably TMI.
Nice.
But that was also
Thanks
a
for
point
bringing
where
the tampons,
there's
yes.
all guys and girls just in a line behind me, and this dude's just shaking tampons. I'm like, oh my God.
What up,
Should've
bro?
taken a
This
picture.
is awesome.
Beautiful.
Nope, no meth in those tampons, sir.
Unlike the meth inside that woman that was hopping around us, she was scared. She
That-
scared me. That's
And
all.
that almost beat the girl that was right in front of me that day that had a T-shirt, and hiding under her T-shirt was a full bottle of vodka, you know, Grey Goose vodka. And the guy just took the T-shirt off and goes, "Come on, you gotta be kidding me." She goes, "You let me in with this yesterday." He goes, "No, I didn't." Kids these days.
He let her in with a full bottle of vodka yesterday?
Right, that's what
Okay,
she was
all
trying
right,
to say. He's
nice.
like, "You're full of shit."
But overall, really good show. Lead singer Take It Back Sunday. He's crazy with his microphone skills.
Yeah.
He whips. He acts like he's Indiana Jones with a whip and
Mhm.
just flings that thing around. I was waiting. The only thing I really wanted to take away from that show, I wanted to see him just knock somebody out with the microphone. Just nail him right in the head. And knock
This is
him
the
out.
reason why Joe has a wireless mic too.
Yeah.
So don't allow him to do such things.
Yeah. When I get my mic, my wired mic, I'm gonna act like Chino from Deftones. I'm gonna put a whole bunch of tape around it.
Nice. What's next?
Good podcast.
Yeah. Local news.
Local news.
Local news, sir.
All right, what do we have in local news?
Local news. Let's briefly hit on this one because it's pretty big in our area.
Hot button topic.
Hot button topic. It's very hot button. 1 year anniversary of the Michael Brown incident.
Yep.
Took place not too far from where I live, and in Ferguson, and I can't believe it's been a year. It went by so fast.
Yeah, it's
And it amazes me how much activity you have right then and there, but then as time goes on, we kind of see the slowdown of action and movement as far from social movement, and we're gonna have some civil repair of some kind. And I don't know. It was just crazy to me that we'd already been through 1 year of this nonsense, basically. There's no right or wrong answer to what occurred. Not a good outtake or outcome of what happened.
right.
At least Baltimore took the heat for a while from us.
Yeah, that's true.
For a while. It just it just blew me away that you had this outpouring of, hey, we need to change the way we are as society, and then yesterday at a protest thing, we'll say, someone gets shot. The whole point of why this all happened was because of gun violence, and then while they're trying to protest what happened, someone gets shot. I mean, come on.
Top-notch people.
And this was this was Ferguson yesterday. All right, yeah, because I didn't hear that story, but
dollar store of some kind in Ferguson.
Was that any different than his parents saying we don't want any violence, and then when they bring the verdict back and they saying burn the fucking city down?
Yeah, again, hot button topic. And that's not what we're about. But it gives you kind of a glimpse of this is what's kind of current of where we're at,
right,
and what we deal with every day as far as tensions around the city.
But thankfully, Al Sharpton's coming in. He'll clean it up.
Save the day. And Bill Cosby's going to come and do a show, apparently. No.
Oh.
Put the gun away!
And when he means gun, he doesn't mean that gun.
Right.
Okay, yeah, let's get off that topic.
But we're going to get off
real
that.
quick. All right, yeah.
Well, it leads into
please.
the shitty stuff that
Thank
we
you.
deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because
And don't block the highways.
don't block.
Then you're just an asshole.
Because, the other big story was they just now found a body decomposing in the Mark Twain Hotel. I don't know much more details on that, but that's just, in this day and age, how do you not notice that in a hotel? Hey,
There's
what's that funky smell? Oh,
There's a documentary on
yeah.
Netflix about that very thing, though,
Which one?
where they're... Oh, man, I
4
wish...
rooms.
Four Roses was the Tarantino movie, dude.
I'm joking.
No.
That was the
I was like,
Robert
I really wish I
Rodriguez
would have
room.
looked it up.
Was that the Tim Roth room?
No,
'Cause
Tim
Roth
Roth was the bellboy.
Yeah,
wasn't
he had a big episode. His was the final part, wasn't it?
No, he was in all of them. That was the Robert Rodriguez room with Antonio Banderas as the father, and the 2 kids are in there with Tim Roth.
I don't remember.
Oh, they found the dead hooker in the bed with the.
We went from
needles.
Mike Brown to dead hookers in about a minute and 10 seconds.
Hey, it all has to do with St. Louis.
Yeah, it's all tying in.
No, I didn't hear about the body in the hotel.
Mhm.
I thought you were talking about the body on the highway instead.
Well,
yeah.
that's why
No.
Joe said don't
Oh.
block the highways
Oh.
because, when you do that, look what happens.
Well,
At 2:30 in the
but
morning.
yeah, long story short, there's a documentary on Netflix. I can't remember the damn name of it, but it's about a woman who was there for like 3 years, and she was
wow.
dead. And they found like wrapped Christmas presents and all that because she was kind of a shut-in. And I guess all of her bills somehow were still paid or something.
Did
Auto
you not
pay.
smell the dead cats or?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point. But it's like that's what that when they just found that person in St. Louis that was all decomposed. I'm like, oh man, hope you get a refund on your room, buddy.
But then, speaking of decomposing and
Ooh.
not blocking the highway, the biggest story of the weekend,
Last couple days.
yeah, was on Highway 370 here in St. Louis. They found body parts scattered about, for our Canadian audience.
For those outside of St. Louis, 370 is like the smallest highway here. Nobody drives on 370.
That's what
that
makes it
often.
so wonderful, is because you can fly down it. Like
And it's,
Pretty much.
it's not well lit at all.
No, it's not.
No lights at all.
And so, guy that was in the city of Newtown was coming back from a bar apparently, and I guess someone hit him. And
Decided to run across a 6-lane highway.
I guess that's what it was. And because his truck broke down.
Yeah.
I know his truck broke down. He's
Yep.
going to go somewhere to rectify that situation, and someone hit him, and they just kind of drove off, which is
Classy.
great. Classy
Yeah.
move. Stay classy, St. Louis.
But apparently a lot more cars hit him as the day went on, and he just kind of
They-
stayed out there for a while.
No,
They-
I didn't hear
yeah.
that part.
Yeah, they
Multiple
thought it
cars
was
just
a
kept
dead-
running
Well,
over
I
him.
think they're running
They
over
thought it
what
was
they
a
over
did.
dead
parts
deer.
of him.
They
we'll
thought it
say.
was a dead deer wearing an Abercrombie and Fitch shirt.
I
I don't know how the hell you don't know that's a person.
I have a
but-
buddy that drives a semi, and he thinks he thought he hit an animal, but he's not sure now at this point.
Jay, Jay,
this
you
was
were
at-
indicting him right here.
This
on
was
the podcast.
after
This is
the
gonna be
initial
police
hit,
evidence.
apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
It was a couple hours after they were reportedly happened.
Oh, okay.
I saw the highway. I had to come out this way Thursday, and I saw where they had the highway just a huge
off.
section, blocked off, and then the traffic was just backed up for miles. And so that's when my mom had called me and like, yeah, you may want to not come out here. I'm like, too late. I'm already on 370, but luckily the traffic was on the other side of the highway. And they're like, yeah, they found human remains. I'm like, yeah, it's St. Louis.
But in
That's every
typical
day.
St. Louis fashion, a lot of people I was seeing on Facebook was, does anyone know what the hell's going on 370? They're making me late for something. I have my kids'
Yeah.
open house to get to.
I have
I
to
was
post
like-
about a lion.
Dude,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that was like
man.
very typical of how is my life inconvenienced when something this, when I just have to have that. When they find out what it was, they were complaining about, oh, hey, it could have been someone I knew, or it could have been me, hey, lying
Sorry
dead
your
on the road.
son was hit by a semi, but I'm 20 minutes late to CrossFit.
Ant-Man starts in 15 minutes. What the?
What the fuck, man? I
Damn
got
it.
places to be.
See, I feel bad because I usually joke, but especially when I'm sitting in traffic on the way home from my job.
I say it all the time, man.
I'm like, somebody better be dead.
I said the same exact
for this
thing. And I
two-lane closure
get so
bullshit.
And then you're in St. Louis, and 90% of the time, oh, somebody's dead.
I say the same, verbatim the same thing because I get so mad in traffic because I can't stand traffic. I just can't.
I know.
But
Like,
at least you're not
deal with
that
it.
guy that holds your camera out while you're driving by it, taking pictures.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh.
The rubbernecking bullshit. Yeah, I just. But yeah, I mean, the things I say in my car are the most deplorable things you could possibly say to another human being.
And
And if
it's
you're
so-
right in their face, you'd be like, "Oh, I probably wouldn't say that to that guy that's way bigger than me."
And it's hard to
Probably knock
remember
me
if your
out.
kids are in the car sometimes.
Oh, my kids, they already. He's
Like,
not
Daddy?
even 8 years old. And he hates traffic already.
Daddy, what does it mean when that guy better be fucking dead?
Dad, I asked the teacher what a twat was.
As soon as he comes to me
Jesus.
with what the fuck is a cunt, I'm gonna have to get shit.
Oh.
Yeah. You know,
What are you going to do to that person's
Parent-teacher
mother?
conferences. Let's talk about the use of the word cunt, Mr. Solomon.
Can we password encrypt this podcast so my mom can't listen to it?
What are you talking about? You want to drop the story of what
Don't be
happened
a
before you
sissy.
came here? What word she dropped?
No, but I will tell her what she.
No.
I'll tell her what she called me though. After the
yeah.
last podcast, when I got home, I told her, I'm like, dude, I got home late last night. By the way, if I haven't mentioned already, I'm living with my parents right now because I'm trying to sell my condo, and so I'm not homeless or something. But so I got home after the last podcast, and I'm like, oh man, I go, I don't know if I can do this. I was out all night, blah blah blah. And she's like, it's 12:30, you pussy. I'm like, oh. And so last night I showed her. I got home at 3 a.m. and went to bed at like 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Take that.
What were you doing for 2
Dang.
hours?
Take
Woo,
that, mommy.
dang.
Were you watching like Downton Abbey on Netflix? Why were we up for 2 hours?
Oh, I was looking for some good spank bank material on Instagram.
Oh,
Thank you. You know who you are.
Are you following one of the Jenner kids now? They're of age, I've heard. So
Whoa,
I've read.
whoa,
Do you
I don't
think I
think
care?
so.
Not
Right.
the Caitlyn one, no, the Kendall and
not
Kylie.
not Caitlyn, her infant daughter.
Oh,
No, actually,
God.
I don't even remember what I was doing. I think I was just reading like shit I missed throughout the day, like online.
What time did you get home from the casino?
Like 3, and then I think
In fact, I'm living at home with mom, but I went to the casino.
yeah, I know. And then
That's my fault. I drug him out after trivia last night.
right.
I didn't get invited to trivia.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. I was looking at stuff online, and then I fell asleep for a while, and then I woke up at like 4:45 sweating, and I had to pee because I've been.
Because the heroin has started to wear off.
No, it's because at the casino I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sober up. So I drank coffee for 3 hours before I got home. So it was just probably still coursing through my veins.
Yeah,
there.
so we get to the casino, and he's there. He's like, hey, I'm going to have a couple beers and drink coffee. So every time I'm at the roulette table and I'm turning around to watch the spin go, I just see the steaming coffee going. He's
Steve,
over there
just
going,
say it. You're already starting a name drop. You're you're hinting at it. So as I'm at the roulette table for 2 hours,
no, I wasn't.
what were you
no.
doing at
I
the
just-
roulette table? Come on.
No, I was just saying. He was over there, and like every time he like, hey, I'll be right back. Then I see him there. He looks like the guy from South Park. He's just
Yeah.
sipping on coffee.
I spilled hot coffee all over my hand too. I didn't tell you guys. I ran to the bathroom and ran under cold water. I forgot how to walk.
That's because you're
point.
hardcore, yo. You go to
Yeah.
the casino. Did you see Phyllis? Was she there by chance?
No, no, but at trivia, some older woman won something. Her name was Phyllis. I'm like, oh, and I was like getting ready to report it to the cops. I'm like, I know where she's at right now.
She was at trivia night.
Yeah.
Striking terror and the trucks
Steve, do you want
everywhere.
to tell them what happened at the casino last night?
Why? No,
Why? Or-
nothing happened.
Did you win money?
Yeah, I did win.
yeah,
money.
that's not, it's
Oh,
not like
I
we did
thought
anything
you-
illegal.
No, I thought you were saying something else. I'm like, no.
No,
Yeah,
so
that's
you
one
winning
thing you
money.
texted us about like 3 times.
How much money did you win?
$540 off 110,
Baller.
and plus I got a new car.
Yeah, I walked
Did you
away.
buy the car with your winnings, or
No, I just got a new car.
Oh.
I just
Okay.
didn't say that.
I walked away and he was up like $10 or something. And then I
Karaoke
went and
must
met
be a
the
good
rest of the
gig.
trivia peeps. They were over by the bar, and I was talking to them. And Steve was still gone. I'm like, okay, so either he's lost all of his money, he's bought back in, or he's up. And then forgot who came over. They're like, Steve's up like $800 right now. I'm like, that motherfucker. I'm like, he was up literally $10 or $20 when I
Yeah,
left.
Joe goes away. He spends his 20s. Like, I'm going to go with them. I'm like, all right. So
Joe
he goes
Dust,
over to
the
Blackjack.
cooler.
And
Yeah. So then what do? I just stood over there drinking coffee with Lori. Steve's girlfriend. Then we just were looking at my Instagram photos.
You're looking for material for later.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't.
What do you think of this one?
What about the
She
lighting
spread
in
too
this one?
far.
Oh.
Maybe you could have gone with some solo pictures. I mean,
Turn
Oh.
B flaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
look.
gross.
Hey, look, Matt can hold the mic close to his mouth now.
Aw.
Yeah, Steve, you're obsessive over that.
Sorry. I'm turning my stuff down so I'm not echoing like that. Tony's got a perfect Jay's there. You're good. He's just like his elbow's like broken, like I got hit by a truck or something.
Sorry.
Well, if he got hit by a truck and only has a broken elbow, dude's Superman.
Well, it could be like that fucking idiot that's taking a selfie when a train goes by and the conductor kicks him in the fucking head.
Did he
You haven't seen that?
No.
Yeah, there's a video on Facebook. These people are taking like, oh, look at me. They take a little Snapchat photo. He's like, hey, look at this. There's a train coming. And you see a foot hanging out the side and it goes bop right on the side of his head. It's going like he's at a stop, like a railroad stop where they're trading cars. He's going like 10 miles an hour. You can hear him blowing the horn. And the guy just goes, kicks him in the fucking head.
We'll put the video on the site.
This
Nah,
story
yeah.
would have been more captivating had he been decapitated. I was like,
Well,
Oh no!
He was taking a selfie and the conductor stabbed him in the neck.
What'd you hear about that douchebag? He took a selfie with a rattlesnake.
no.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
Why would you ever do
No,
something
there was
like
a
that?
fucking cobra.
I thought.
No,
All right.
it
Well,
was a
whatever.
cobra.
Okay. Well,
It's like
Like it matters.
It's in
Oh.
the, it doesn't matter, but he's in the strike position. He's like, oh, this is gonna end well.
yeah. So I guess he had like his hospital bill is like $153,000. I'm like, well, congratulations, dipshit. You got to pay every penny of that.
Oh my god. Well, because it reminds me.
Shit, sorry.
That's the sound of the locomotive.
Yeah, that's like I said. He's blowing by.
Because it reminds me of that
Scared
YouTube
the
clip
shit
I
out of
saw of the guy that punches the cobra. This guy that's like, he's a snake wrangler or some kind in India or something like that. Do you remember that video?
Yeah.
He fucking who punches a cobra in the face? This dude just bam.
Oh, yeah,
Guy
they're
on the
playing
street corner in India, apparently.
No,
Is
not
this the
street
one
corner.
with
This
the-
is there's
where they
there's
had the
tons of
Family Guy
snakes. He's
cut
in a
in on
pit.
it?
Where
Is that the one with the Family Guy cut in?
they might have done one like that. I don't
Yeah,
remember,
there's
but
that's the cobra. The guy's playing the flute, and the tamer's just sitting there, and the cobra like starts doing it. He goes, and just
Yeah.
smacks him on the head. And they have the Brian from Family Guy who goes,
yeah,
he just fucking.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I seen that one.
You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how we're like sitting here like, oh man, how many listens do you think we have on our podcast? How many views do you think that kicked in the head by the train conductor?
Millions, 4 million,
38 million views.
38 million.
So all I need to go outside and just have some dude kick me in the balls. Like I need to just walk across the road and
I said
We will
4
post it
million,
on the
that's
site.
38.
Yeah.
Jesus.
holy crap.
That's awesome.
He looks like Charlie Korsmo, the actor. I think that's his name. He's from Hook, the little kid in Hook.
Oh, I remember that. Okay, I know who you're
Wait
talking
a
about.
minute. Wait a
movie.
minute. Yeah,
He's like an
he's
ugly
in,
little
like,
kid.
the-
He's in Can't Hardly Wait too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
This kid looks
I know
just
who you're
like
talking
him.
about now.
And then he has a
was
video.
Jack in Hook.
He has a
That's who he
video
was.
called "Kicked in the Head Explained," and that has 33,000 views. Wow.
Jesus.
Someone breaking down the 10-second video, someone getting kicked in the head.
Right.
I love
This
it.
is why I was fucking stupid.
No, you see what it was
What happened was,
I got kicked in the head. Like, that's great. 38 million views.
yeah.
Jesus. All right.
We're in the wrong industry.
Yep.
we're not in the head.
We've been downloaded like 1,000 times. Suck on
We're
that.
getting there. We're getting
Yeah.
there. Slowly but surely. All right, Toner.
Yes.
We need to go from finding body parts on 370 to something else that piqued your interest.
Ooh, a smooth segue.
Very smooth segue for me. Thank you.
All right. Which is?
Hitchhiking robot.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say finding body parts in his butt.
Or gerbils.
Richard Gere. Nice. So, yeah, this story, it's got to be a couple weeks old.
Because
but
wait, now let's segue this way. I have hatred for people that say, "Hey, I'm going to pick up a hitchhiker." He said
Oh,
he's
Joe.
gonna pick up a hitchhiker, but no,
Oh, yeah.
because we discussed it. No one picks up hitchhikers. Nobody's going to pick up
Right.
a hitchhiker. But then you found this story immediately after that discussion.
Yeah, I guess it was a couple days after. These guys in Canada. There you go. All right. Joe needs to do curls. Just kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, they're still cold.
Okay, so I'm sure you guys have heard about this hitchhiking robot. I guess it was created by these two inventors in Canada. It was just called
Terrence and Phillip.
yeah, just called Hitchbot. I guess it was part of a social experiment. They create this robot. It's not mobile, but I guess it's got some limited, AI, artificial intelligence. I don't know how.
Thanks for the explanation.
Yep. Hey, AI. I want to make sure they heard me, fucker.
Is that what that movie stood for?
Was Haley Joel Osment in that one?
Yes.
Was he?
Yeah.
Then Haley Joel.
Then Haley Joel, yeah. Oh, dude, we'll talk about that later.
He looks like he got stung by 80 bees.
Jesus Christ.
80 bees that stung him as well.
Yes.
So anyway, part of a social experiment, these guys create this robot that's hitchhiking. It's already hitchhiked, I guess, across like 3 different companies.
Well, it made it all the way
Or
through,
countries.
It made it
Jesus
through
Christ.
Canada, right?
Yeah,
Canada first, yeah.
Yeah,
It made
it
it through
did, it did Canada.
Now, west coast to east coast, I'm guessing?
Let's see. It went
I
from.
believe so.
Okay.
It said across Canada from Halifax, Nova Scotia, to Victoria, British Columbia.
How the hell did it not freeze?
And,
That's
and
what I
then
want to know.
it took 19 separate rides lasting 26 days, and so these guys had the bright idea: hey, let's take it to America, where a whole bunch of cool motherfuckers live there, and nothing possibly could go wrong with this. So apparently, where did it go? It was supposed to go from Boston to San Francisco. That was the plan, the route it was supposed to take. So let's see. I'm trying to find exactly where it started, but I can tell you where his journey ended.
Weird.
I think it started in Boston. That's what they reported. Kevin Smith was talking about it on one of his podcasts.
like Boston, New
Oh,
Jersey,
here we go. Okay.
Philadelphia type.
All right, it says Hitchbot left Salem, Massachusetts on July 17th
And it didn't
and
get
made
burned.
stops in Boston and New York City before traveling to Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. And surprisingly, they discovered an asshole in Philadelphia, of all cities. And that's where the robot met its demise. Some prick decapitated Hitchbot.
Now, how did he go about doing so? Does it give you details on that?
All I know is that he removed the robot's head and left it in a ditch. I'm like,
Sounds
what?
like
the-
Jesus, is he from ISIS or something?
Just-
He must have watched too many Terminator movies.
I think, yeah. I guess the thing maybe
You
was
must
so.
remove the head to kill it.
Yeah.
Skynet! We have to destroy Skynet!
I
What takes
guess-
over?
Apparently, Hitchbot became self-aware, started killing homeless people, and luckily this guy, intervened and stopped more people from being murdered.
Modern day
sorry.
John Connor, right
Hitchbot left the wall in Canada and came down to the U.S. and was just considered a deserter.
We don't like your type here.
So
It ran on 9 volts. by the
Legal
way.
alien.
one, it just pisses me off because it's somebody else's shit. It's somebody just trying something. It's like a harmless experiment, and then just some dude being a
Well,
prick.
what was the whole point of the experiment to begin with? Just to see if a robot could make it from one end of the country to another?
Right,
I
or
think
like what,
checking
well, what people
checking
would do with
human interest in it, and I mean, it had GPS on it, and they could communicate with it. But
Well, I think it's when you try that stuff, it's bound to go wrong. I mean, look at Lemon Party. It was a game of bingo gone horribly wrong.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah,
they're
don't
staring at you with blank stares.
Yeah.
Anybody who just heard that goes, "Oh, that's gross." Yeah, we won't post that on our
We'll
website.
look it up after we record.
Yeah, look it up on the Google later, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm not looking it up on my phone.
Oh no! Then I'm definitely not looking at this at all.
Is it like the blue waffle? Is that what we're getting at, or
It's along those lines, except just imagine 3 senior citizen dudes.
oh Jesus?
But that's the best part. It's Lemon Party, and the tagline is a game of bingo gone horribly wrong.
Thanks. I'm good. I'll pass.
Okay. Yeah, I will not watch that later. You guys let me know what you
So,
think.
I don't know
what we
why I just
discovered
brought
is
that up.
hitchhiking.
We don't
It's
know why
no-
you're watching
it's
that.
no good, whether human or robot.
Yeah, you're not
It shouldn't be done.
You're not safe whether you're hitchhiking or giving the ride. Harmless robot killed.
Johnny number 5.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Frick.
From Blank Man?
No, short
Short
circuit.
Circuit.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why.
Of all the movies, I choose Blank Man. That was J5.
I don't even.
Blank
think I've
Man's
seen
robot
Blank
was
Man.
J5.
Is that what he had
Yeah.
a robot? Man? Was that like
Yeah.
his sidekick? I've never seen the movie. I don't know.
Yeah. J5.
Was that Damon Wayans?
Yep.
Oh, Wayne's production.
Yeah. Wonder why I didn't see that movie.
Funny.
So, did the guy ever give an explanation of why he decapitated the robot?
I don't think they know who
No,
it
they don't
is.
find
So-
it. There's video
Well,
of it.
He has video on him, doesn't he?
No.
I think
There was some cameras
around.
around the area. They saw what
Well,
happened.
the robot itself didn't have a camera on it to record its journey?
I don't know.
No, I think it just had a recorder and a GPS system,
Really?
so they could track it.
Then I blame the freaking people that built the robot. They should have had that thing secured out. I mean, how much do you think that thing cost to produce? You think
I
they throw
can
a
tell you, I
camera
have
on
the
it?
exact numbers right here.
They've narrowed it down to a drunk asshole in Philadelphia.
Apparently, he
sure.
was driving a semi and came through Missouri.
Yo,
His terror reigns cross
It-
country.
It only cost $1,900, but it was hundreds of hours of work in order to get the robot how they wanted it. So
That's messed up.
they don't know if they're going
That's
to.
$20,000 piece of property. Someone just said.
They're
Bye-bye.
1900.
$1,900.
$2,000.
That's. Oh, I thought you said 19,000.
Oh.
yeah, no, there's another fucking zero.
And you would think the
Second
Jews
grade
wanted
taught me
to-
numbers.
That damn comma.
Stupid commas.
But it was 3 feet tall and weighed 25 pounds.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
And yeah, so it was auditioning for Game of
Well,
Thrones
it had a
next
chance.
last
It
week.
had a chance to get destroyed anyway.
It
It's
was
that
the Peter
small.
Dinklage robot.
That
Fucking
motherfucker's
dwarf
gonna eat
robots
a
are being
cheesesteak.
targeted now. I was about to say it was in Philadelphia. I mean, it was unarmed, so I'm surprised a cop didn't shoot it, to be honest with you.
Oh.
They threw batteries at it first.
Yeah.
Ooh, man.
Hey, sorry, police. Fuckers. All right, next topic.
Tell us how you feel
Segway.
about the 5-0.
Segway. Love the 5-0.
Straight out of
We're getting pulled over on the way home.
You're listening to Nerdcast on the Inside Joke Outside Voice podcast network.
Segue. We got to segue into something?
I don't know.
Oh, my
Do you want
goodness.
to go to sports?
We can go into our part of our broadcast stuff. Go ahead and do sports. Steve, sound guy, he's got something to say about sports. What you got, Steve?
Well, I want to get to the topic of the St. Louis Rams wanting to either build a new stadium or move to L.A., and I want to mix in the Tom Brady thing because that also fits in with the Cardinals thing because everybody thinks that just because Tom Brady cheated and now that it was a big deal because Tom Brady cheats. His owner comes out and says this is a atrocity, that they're finding him guilty, suspending
Those
him for
fuckers
4
have been
games.
cheating since 01.
Well, and then you have people like guys that at my work that are huge Patriots fans, and they're like, "Oh, there you go, the Cardinals, them sons of bitches just cheated with the whole Astros thing or whatever the fuck it is." It's like
There's
who
more to
gives
that
a
story
shit?
than
Yeah,
what-
there's
what
a
can-
lot
I-
more to that story.
Yeah, so what happened with that story? I just read briefly about it. They supposedly hacked into the Astros.
No. This goes back, Jay. You have to give me
Right.
more of the details because you got Jeff Luhnow that's involved.
Yeah, Jeff Luhnow was the scouting director, did all the drafting and everything for the Cardinals for years.
He took over while Jocketty was still in place. Was that post
Yeah,
Jocketty?
before Jocketty, because they were the ones.
We're talking about Walt Jocketty. He's the current GM for the Cincinnati Reds.
Right.
Yep.
And
For now.
he left not on great terms. I
Oh,
would
no.
say.
No, he was fired because there was a conflict in the front office between Luhnow and him, and it divided the whole front office.
And it was a matter of this is the kind of way we're going to structure our organization from basically heavily investing in veteran players versus going towards the youth movement of going for cheaper players, but also developing through our farm system.
Correct.
And Luhnow was basically the one mapping out the drafts and where we're going to spend our money as far as from the Latin projects and Dominican and all that stuff. He built that from the ground, if I understand correctly, right?
Yeah, he had a lot to do with that, and he was one that integrated a lot more stats into the front office as opposed to the scouting.
Going the money ball.
Yeah.
method will go.
So, apparently, when Luhnow left, he took a system with him that was built by the Cardinals, by some of their analysts. He had a hand in it, too. And so these analysts felt betrayed, decided to hack into the Astros system and see what information he took to see if they stole information the Cardinals owned.
And they found nothing but a bunch of goatsy photos.
So
okay.
When the
Help solo photos.
Oh my god, the Astros are sponsored by Arby's.
So basically, when the Astros found out that someone broke into their system, they went to Major League Baseball, who went to the FBI and started the investigation. And they found that Chris Correa, who was doing the Cardinals draft this year, he was their scouting director, was one of those people involved in it and got fired for it. But it wasn't high-ups in the organization. It was just some kind of rogue analysts.
Well, here's my thing. If Luhnow took proprietary data or software from the Cardinals, isn't he just as guilty? Or are you saying that basically we took what the Cardinals built and we built our own software system for, statistics and analytics and saying, hey, we tweaked it to just be a little bit different than what the Cardinals had? That's still him being just as guilty as the Cardinals trying to find out what he was doing with their data.
Right, but none of that has come out, and it's hard to really say because he took so many people from the front office with him. It might not have been him. It could have been somebody else that went, but basically the information they got was outdated within months of them having it, so it's not like they got some kind of illegal advantage from taking this stuff.
Okay.
Well,
so just trying to see what
But
was
yeah,
going
but
on.
either
All right.
way, it's Tom Brady. He's guilty. I mean, you can't.
Yeah, I'm sure he
Well,
had a
this
hand
thing
in
is everybody
that.
says, okay, he destroyed his cell phone. Fine. But that was, it's like, when you say it, then you have to make up 50 fucking excuses why you destroyed your phone. You're fucking guilty. Get over it.
But here's the thing: the Patriots Colts game that what this was about, they were
AFC
winning.
Championship
It was
game,
like what 40-10 at some point when they started.
Yeah,
talking
I think it was
about
bigger
that.
than that even.
I mean, the victory margin was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't really think that
And-
had that
and
much
I'm
to
not
play
doubting
into
it.
Yeah.
If they kick the shit out of him because they kick the shit out of him, that's fine. But the thing is, it's like this is like the third time they've been accused of doing some shady shit, and it's just like,
Found guilty of it, actually.
he's been found guilty. But moving from that,
They were found guilty before with the whole Spygate.
Spygate,
Yeah.
with the Rams.
I'm pissed because he's my fantasy quarterback. So now this year I'm probably just not even going to worry about it.
Yeah, oh God, what cracked me up with the Tom Brady thing? The moment it was announced that he was getting a 4-game suspension, I hadn't had Twitter yet at the time, so I'm on Google and they're talking about some of the funniest tweets that had come out, and somebody said, even after week 4, Tom Brady will still have a better quarterback rating than the guy from the Jets, the quarterback, Geno
Mark Sanchez.
or Geno Smith.
Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Geno
yeah,
Smith.
Okay.
It really doesn't matter. Pick any of the Jets quarterbacks.
yeah, but that cracked me
Well,
up.
hey, the
Tim
Rams
Tebow.
got, the Rams got Nick
Foles,
Foles now.
yeah.
We're going to the Super Bowl. But anyways,
Yeah.
getting back to where I was going to the topic now, they keep saying they want to build this new stadium. They don't need to build the new stadium. They should just revamp it. They still have, from the last I heard, they still have $100 million to pay on the Edward Jones Dome. So either way,
But have you been to a game there? It's the worst
Yeah, it
atmosphere
sucks.
for a game ever.
but yeah, I mean,
But it does sell out One Direction concerts. I would hold one Direction concert there every year, and they would probably be able to pay off
be
the
able to pay
stadium
it
in
off.
2 years.
But either way, I don't. Okay, they could redesign it on the inside to keep it here because they're wanting to use like public money to do it. It's like no,
Well,
you
these rich
people have
bastards.
enough. They
they're
have
not
enough
gonna-
private funds. I mean, I just hear stuff on the radio on like 97.1 where they like think about it. Where there's a guy that's Rig Edlin from Channel 5. He retired from there. He's like, he goes, he's saying something really smart. It's like you don't need the stadium has $100-something million you still got to pay, and you got enough people in St. Louis and people out in LA still that have interest in the Rams now. Just redesign the inside of it and pay that off because what is it's going to cost like $1.5 billion for that fucking stadium? No,
But it's going to be multi-purpose too, right?
For
Yeah.
soccer,
yeah,
for
but still, I
soccer,
mean,
private
the
football.
dome.
And they're
works
also
just fine.
revamping that area.
North, yeah,
It-
Following
It's right,
district.
and the big deal is just because it's literally that whole that tailgating area right there where Lumiere is. That whole area, they want to connect it all to it. So like, they'll
Let's
have-
be real. There is no tailgating areas at Rams games.
Well,
It's a horrible
I-
location.
Well, it's not a safe location either. to be
Yeah,
honest
no.
with
it's
you.
on like the northeast side of the dome. But either way, it doesn't matter. They're going.
You're between a highway and project housing.
Yeah, exactly. So, but they're wanting to do like what
Yeah,
what
St.
you
Louis.
can do with the
Yeah.
with the Lumiere to the one place from the dome. You can actually walk under to Lumiere, and they want to do that for everything so it's connected.
But
But-
nobody goes to Lumiere. That was a big mistake. I'm still pissed about Mississippi Nights.
Here's the thing. When it comes to the new construction of the stadium,
He got it right.
it was the city has so many other needs. The city's broke. We're worse than Detroit at this point. I think. I mean, as far as for funding for city pensions and whatnot, I don't know where those stats are, but
And our
the
hockey
qu-
team,
what
that's
you're
like the
I think the
Cubs.
point you're trying to get at is there's no need to do that when the city doesn't have any money to give, and it's basically the trend is it's already been established that when an owner wants a new stadium, they're never going to front the cost themselves. Why would they? City's been over backwards. They think that they're going to draw in they're going to draw in money to offset that.
Sorry, the
Hold
bird
on,
the bird clock's going off again.
We're broadcasting outside. Shh.
And it's just a matter. I think I agree with you. Where there's a good argument saying, why build a new stadium when the city can't afford to give you the money
They
to
can
do so?
find people to privately redo that inside of that place when they.
I don't mind domes either. I don't have a problem with the
no,
domes.
because
but
seriously, I guarantee you, it's like who in the fuck wants to do like a Green Bay thing? We do not have the fan base to have like ice bowls when it's like minus 50 fucking degrees outside. It's like
It doesn't get that cold here.
No, well, and
But
the thing is,
it's still. I mean, it's bad enough.
Outdoor football is better
That
than
fuck,
indoor football.
that place, Green Bay's, it's sold out. It doesn't matter if it's 90 or
Dude,
minus 10.
so's Kansas City.
Well, either way.
Kansas
but
well,
City's
Steve,
hardcore.
the issue that you have is when you're talking about what Joe said, Kansas City. When you're talking about Green Bay, you have a tradition of winning. Even though Kansas City hasn't been
Yeah.
great, they still have competitive football for the most part. In recent
we haven't
history
had a-
aside, there was one season where they got the first overall pick. Just a
And
really
that
bad
team's
season.
been there a long time.
They've been there a
so.
long time. You've got a horrible product here in St. Louis.
Yeah, it hasn't done
Why
anything
would
in
you
14
pay money
years.
to go see this team perform when they haven't won in over 10 years? You put a winning product on the field, I'm sorry, this city will support any sports franchise you give them. Take the Blues, for example. Worst team in the NHL, no one showed up. All of a sudden they become better. Now it's the hottest ticket in town. All right? Stadium's filled every time. Cardinals, sustained success.
Right.
Always winning. Guess what? You win, you fill the seats. I find it that the team just doesn't care. Team doesn't need to perform because they'll make money off the TV.
It's
contracts.
because who's not Les Snead? Who's
Kroenke.
the owner? The owner.
Stan Kroenke.
Yeah, he's willing to put like $90 million for a fucking Major League Soccer team out in L.A. when if they build something out there for it. It's like they've got enough want in St. Louis for a Major League Soccer team, and they could do it. I mean, put it inside the dome.
There's enough want for an NFL team as well, but Stan Kroenke is a good businessman. He knows that his asset will quadruple in value if he just simply moves the team. They're going to move. I think there's no question about it. They're going to move just so he can increase his asset.
It's fine.
That's the only reason they'll do it.
If the
Now,
other
whether or
owners
not-
allow it, though.
But
that's
either
what
way,
they
it
allow.
doesn't matter.
Which
If you're-
he could get around that, I'm thinking, easily.
I don't know. Apparently he's not a very popular guy with the other owners.
Well, it's a
No,
matter
he's
of,
not.
It's a matter of, I think he's going to transfer ownership to his son kind of thing and try to buy another team.
The shitty
Like
Mizzou
that.
player?
The shitty Mizzou player. He bricked threes all
But
night
yeah,
long.
Doesn't
people.
matter.
Well,
That
it
dude.
doesn't
matter.
Oh well, I'll just take a private
Because
jet
you
back,
have to have
back to
'cause
Columbia.
You have to have. Is it like 75% of the NFL owners have to agree for you to move,
Yeah.
and like maybe like 10% of them vote on it because like they're I think some of them had the same concept of like, let's keep it. You already have something there because it's like they know the aspect. It's like you owe money, you do that, so it's like because like okay, so you take us down. It's like then what the hell are you going to use this for? It's like you have the people that want to upgrade the facility and use it.
Here's the problem with the facility. You get all of the fans that come in that just want to be there for social appearances, not the true fans. When you go to a game and you're told to sit down, it's not right.
Yeah.
If you have an outdoor stadium, it's going to draw the true fans in. It will sell out, I think. And you're not going. It's going to be a rowdy atmosphere, and people aren't going to be upset because you're standing up on fourth down while the offense is trying to do something.
It's like watching football in a dark basement.
Right.
That's what the dome feels like.
Well,
Well,
no,
and
Jay,
that's-
the issue being it'll sell out if they put a winning product on the field.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Which
Who
they
wants-
are getting better.
They are getting
I mean,
better.
They're not.
It's just a
the
matter.
bottom of the
Are
barrel
you willing
anymore.
to spend $100 for a ticket to go watch a team that's going to get blown out?
No.
They're not going to do it. It's just there's no point in doing that.
I'd rather sit at home and watch football anyway because you can change channels on those long
Yeah,
delays.
especially if you have the DirecTV NHL or NFL package.
It's the NFL Sunday ticket. You almost
Sorry,
said
I
NHL.
get talking about
Jesus.
packages and I just get a little
You
bit.
get a little excited.
But,
All right.
So either way, they need to make up their mind soon because they just if you're going to move,
It'll make for an
move.
interesting season this season when we have a lame duck team. Now,
Yeah.
what happens? The interesting story will be if you have a lame duck team that you know is most likely going to move.
Go.
But let's say they win this season. Let's say they actually turn into a playoff team and that stadium still sells out. That's your new story. You have
Yeah.
a city willing to sell out a stadium, but you're still going to move them.
A
I think
football
it's-
version of Major League.
I think it's
Yeah,
hard
there
to
you
keep
go.
an NFL franchise sometimes. Cardinals are already like entrenched in the city, so they're a done deal. Everybody's going to go to their games. Blues, it probably didn't cost that much to operate hockey. They play in a multi-purpose facility anyway, so
And
it's
you
not like
don't-
Scott Trade
yeah.
Center's going broke. or
And you don't
anything.
make money in the NHL unless you make it to the playoffs.
Right,
anyway.
yeah. So, I mean, and what? You max out at 20,000 people anyway, right? So
Something like that.
Then
yeah.
NFL, you're trying to pack, 70,000 or so in there, and you want a stadium that's going to pay for itself eventually. But we got Nick Foles. Suck it.
Yeah. And what's funny is
Suck it, Philly.
if you
can stand the
going
field.
back to Philly,
Yeah, right.
killing robots and whatnot. Well, we'll take your quarterback. What's up?
That's right.
But did you notice
a
that
fragile
when
quarterback.
you drive by the stadium, they still have the Sam Bradford poster? Like, I mean, I'm talking about
Yeah, they haven't changed
3-story
anything.
tall.
I think
poster
Orlando
of Sam
Pace is still up there
And
too.
his leg is bending backwards, like on It Follows, like where they find her on the beach at the beginning. You're like, oh no, that's not It Follows. That's just Sam Bradford.
What's gonna suck if that guy turns out to be good? If he turns out,
That will be fun. He's going to throw for
five.
5,000 fucking yards.
It's,
55
exactly.
touchdowns.
And it's just like, come on.
Just to throw two middle fingers to us.
I don't think he will, but who knows?
No, he won't.
I don't know. Still to be
Second
seen.
But still funny.
Second preseason game, he goes down.
Yeah,
What's he break this time though?
What's
he's gonna come out
Oh
in
Jesus
full
Christ!
armor
They
like
got
Game of
Tebow
Thrones
this year too.
I don't think he's actually gonna make the roster.
No, I don't.
I think
God,
that-
I hope not.
Their coach is just an odd guy, or he's crazy.
Tebow,
now.
Jesus hates
he wants
you.
to be
Just fucking
different.
quit.
So,
So I don't know if anybody heard that.
Christ.
Audience, what you don't understand is Tony. has
it's
a
getting
unhealthy,
cloudy over this house right
He
now.
has
The
Tony
power
has
of
an
Tebow,
unhealthy obsession with his hatred for Tim Tebow. He can't stand Tim Tebow.
Dude,
or the Dallas Mavericks,
Or the
Seattle
Spurs.
Seahawks.
Yeah, or the Seattle
Spurs.
Seahawks.
Fuck you, Spurs. You were the most boring team to watch. I don't give a fuck what people say. Fuck your team.
He's very passionate when he gets involved with
fuck
this.
Dallas.
Bobby and I put over
Fuck
email
the
one
state of
time.
Texas.
It would just be easier just to go through the teams Tony.
Sorry, I got a little.
Or no,
heated. I
it would take
apologize.
longer to go through the teams Tony hates than the ones that
He
he
likes.
likes.
Yeah.
Kind of like people.
That's right.
Yeah.
I hate most people, and
But
I
please
hate
listen
most
to us.
sports teams. Yep. Please listen. Sponsors. Nerdcast.com. Sorry. All right, what's next?
We can take this in two directions.
Or why don't we take this in one direction?
Sell out.
Oh.
And sell out.
I want to bring something up in entertainment news that I read this morning, and you guys are going to rip on me. It is
Go for it.
it is vaguely 311 related,
Oh.
From
but
Chaos?
really it's not.
From Chaos is getting back together.
From Chaos is dropping an album. No. Okay, so everyone, well, maybe not everyone. A lot of people know who Ed Sheeran is, right?
Yes. Yep.
He's very
Yep.
famous right now. You know, he's like what 24, I believe.
Yep.
So now apparently I saw a blurb that it's all rumored that he's dating Nicole Scherzinger, who's from the Pussycat Dolls.
Oh.
Very
yeah.
good-looking girl.
Dude, yeah.
You know whom Nicole Scherzinger used to be engaged to?
Nick
Nick
Hexum?
Hexum from 311.
Yep.
So she's taken a dude, lopping off 20 years, and now she's with Ed Sheeran. So Ed, I just want to say you're getting Nick scraps now. So
Eskimo Brothers.
right, yeah. Ooh man, I'm gonna Eskimo Brothers database. Got to update it.
They could tour together.
Yeah, I wonder who would headline. Yeah, I'm gonna say Ed Sheeran.
What if Ed Sheeran and 311 went out on tour together?
That's what we're
That's
saying.
what we're saying.
Is that what I'm saying?
The Eskimo Brothers
Eskimo Brothers
2016
yeah,
tour.
Yeah, there we go.
Take
I like
me
it.
into your open arms.
Okay, the next topic I had on the schedule was
Remind me to cut that at 55 minutes so I can put that at the end of it. Sorry, 56 minutes or so.
The other topic I was going to bring up was our current exercise culture. And we brought this up briefly before we started recording, which goes into the whole fad of the smedium shirt and all that good stuff.
I can't help it.
You and your twinkish body can't help the fact that you
Because
have
I like
go-
to eat and I like to drink a lot, and I don't work out.
Well, it was
I have a
matter
great
of-
butt though.
It seems like our culture has a big fascination with the 24-hour fitness and everyone working out nowadays. And I brought this up with Jay when we went to the Greek Fire Show. Was do you guys ever remember your parents putting this big of an emphasis on health and exercise?
Nope.
And
Nope.
your body image or body shaming of any kind that you see in the news nowadays?
No.
My dad runs like 4 or 5 times a week, but it's not like he doesn't like lift or anything though. He's
But, I
just
mean,
a runner.
He just does it because he enjoys it, probably.
Yeah, he's been doing it since
But
he was
it
like
feels
a
like
teenager.
the generation, behind us, it's more of a matter of we do this because if we don't look a certain way, act a certain way,
Right.
in the exercising scheme of things, A, they're going to get bullied. B, it made me think of the getting local again with news, the Meg Myers case. I don't know if you guys remember the Meg Myers case, but it blew up here in St. Louis pretty big because it happened
Oh
out
shit,
in
her
Darden
name
Prairie.
what? Was it
Meg
Meg
Myers?
Myers?
Wasn't it Meg Myers? Or,
Well, Meg Myers is an alternative
She's the
singer.
same.
Yeah.
I think this girl's
Oh,
name was.
shit.
She was the 13-year-old that hung herself after dealing with
Megan Meyer, I think.
Megan
Yeah.
Meyer.
Close, though, yeah.
Sorry, but
You're right.
It was a
Her
matter.
friends called her Meg.
You want to know a really interesting fact about that?
Please do.
Is the apartment that my brother and his now wife lived in
Mhm.
is now the site of the Megan Meyer Foundation
Really?
in St. Charles. Yeah,
That is
I drove by there. I'm like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Because it brought me to think about the whole bullying thing that we deal with in society today, and we all grew up with the same shit. Nothing's changed in regards to that. It just seems like it's taken to a whole new level now.
We were taught how to deal with it growing up.
I don't
Yeah.
think we ever were told about it. We just dealt with it.
Yeah, we knew how to deal with it. That was the thing. We didn't go home and cry about
I mean,
it.
like if somebody just called you fat or something?
Yeah. Or-
Oh.
Sure.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean-
well, you start with that, but I mean, it could go with body shaming. It could go into your lifestyle choices, all that stuff.
Oh yeah,
It's-
like
my question
you're not
was-
eating right and all that
yeah,
bullshit.
and that's a
yeah.
huge thing now as far as diet and exercise. The diet part of it, and
We have
schools
two.
Now,
We have
schools
two
now
pizzas and a shitload of beer sitting on our table right
Well,
now.
but no, I mean, as far as even from school standpoint, I remember when we went to school. Oh, hey, here's your lunch. Here's a pizza, a slice of pizza, and a chocolate milk if that's what you want.
Rubbery
to eat.
pizza.
Yeah.
Now you go to school. It's like, oh, hey, we actually have fresh made food, vegetables.
We have
all-
carrots and kale.
Exactly. And it's just like I'm like, why has society changed so? And I think it's a drastic change.
California.
Well,
It's
it's
liberals and hipsters.
Well, also-
tied to the obesity
Fucking Bay
rate.
Area.
in the
Yeah,
country,
we were
though.
talking about this in the car. In this country alone, the childhood obesity rate is ridiculous.
And that's what's so
A
crazy.
nation of fat
you,
bastards.
you think that, yeah, you think that, but then you
Right.
go around and you see so many people put such an emphasis on exercise and bodybuilding now as far as working out. And I'm trying to go, where's that disconnect between youth and the way they're being raised as far as what you're saying for
Okay.
childhood obesity versus most of everyone I know now does some type of exercising, whether it be for health reasons or just for,
Just recreation type stuff?
yeah,
Or, all right.
something.
When we were kids, we were outside playing, riding our bikes, playing hockey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's the kids are in playing video games.
Yeah.
And I mean, that goes anywhere. You go to a family event, and all the kids are sitting there with
Their
electronic
fucking
devices.
iPhones or
Yep.
whatever the fuck.
I mean,
it is.
adults are just as bad about that now too, because you go to a restaurant and everyone's sitting around the table with their phone out.
Instead of
Tweeting-
talking to
My
each other.
dad has his fantasy baseball team up nonstop on his phone.
How'd your mom feel about that?
She calls them bad names. I'm not gonna repeat.
We had a family function where two kids were sitting next to each other, texting each other instead of talking.
Yeah,
I
And
mean,
it's just a dynamic
yeah.
that I find interesting, just due to the fact that is it Darwinism at its peak right now, where we have depleting natural resources, and it's not a matter of, hey, the best looking. We all need to look our best, be our healthiest, work out to be our strongest, because of that fact. Are we really preparing ourselves to just live a better life now, or is it something that, hey, we're training for the inevitable to come?
Aaron and I work out probably 5 to 6 days a week when I'm able to walk, and we're teaching our kids it's because of health, not looks. We want to be healthy, and I've explained to them my dad passed at 64 and his dad passed at 63, and I want to be around longer to see things later on.
But see, that I think you're in the minority on that. I don't think for most people it's a health thing. I think for most people
it's
image-
vanity.
It's a vanity. Thank you. That's
Well,
what I was looking for.
Hence the gym photos in the mirror.
Exactly. There's
Yeah.
a whole.
God.
There's
slew of
still the
those
meathead
online.
segment though that'll go in anyway.
Oh my god, yeah.
I love the douche nozzles to go work out.
Because
Yeah.
I'm on board with you. The whole reason for my change in my diet and my exercising pattern was just because of health reasons.
Mhm.
And I mean, you got kids. I want I want to be around to see your kids. Hopefully someday. I don't want to, die of a heart attack at a young age. I just find it so interesting that I never once saw my parents ever talk to me about health, ever talk to me about exercise. I never saw them do anything in regards to working on their health or, exercise. So you saying you seen your dad do that's a shock to me. I don't.
He always
I
asks me
don't-
if I want to go running with him. I'm like, Dad, I just DVR'd 6 episodes of Catfish. No, I don't want to.
I don't have time for that nonsense.
See, my dad would lift weights with me when I was younger too, just to get me in the habit
get you
of
to
doing
try
it.
it,
Yeah.
See, and I just find that's so new to me to see parents taking an active role in their kids. So I'm wondering, are they doing it
No.
for their own vain reasons, so they don't have to deal with
No, that's the
my
problem.
kids? They are afraid. I wonder if most parents now is like, oh, I don't want my kid to be the one that's getting picked on. Or do
Well,
they
no,
not
it's
care?
because parents nowadays are pussies. They don't tell them, like, when we were out there, it's like, when we were back there, it's like, go the fuck outside. It's like because when we all of
Well,
us here
no,
when summer came around, holy shit, the pool was open in our backyard. Joe lived next door to us. It was like we did shit nonstop. Now it's like,
Well, there's an argument. I can argue that though. Just for playing devil's advocate, is if we were kids and we had an iPad, would it still be the same? Because we didn't have that technology.
We had
back then.
Nintendo and Sega Genesis is damn near the same.
No.
No,
Yeah,
I
we're
couldn't
gonna say-
look up porn on a Nintendo.
But the
tried.
point
I mean,
is the technology goes with the times. Okay, yeah.
Well, look at the internet nowadays too. Though that's probably the biggest factor. You mentioned electronics. Internet was not around at our
either
time.
way, I mean,
Social media takes up a lot of people's day.
well,
too.
and that's the thing. It's like that's a problem. It's they're like. Don't get me wrong. There's parents out there like, you got the internet, go find it. That's not the fucking answer. Why don't you actually say something to your kid and just
sit down with them and
sit
show
down
them.
with them because what do? They get on the internet and they go find some dumb shit like
Go find porn.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, there's a guy that got kicked in the face by a train.
Trade. I want to watch this 20
Yeah,
times.
But the thing is times have changed. Yeah, it's gonna get it. But the thing is, like, I'm sorry. Quit being so PC, and it's like, give your kid a kick in the ass and be like, "Come on, go do something." Just like, oh, I want to watch.
When our kids fight with each other, we tell them to deal with it, not to come to us.
Yeah,
They-
exactly.
They have to figure out how to resolve it themselves.
You should just
Yeah.
beat them. Keep it short and sweet.
Speaking of body shaming, the term that I love now that's come out, and I'm being sarcastic, is chicks like to say a guy has a dad bod.
What's a dad bod?
It's like
Never
it's
heard that.
a dad's body, a guy that doesn't have time to work out, so he's a little bit.
So you got a
Okay.
little bit of a gut.
Oh, I have a dad bod for
I got it,
sure.
yeah.
But if you ever tell me they have a dad bod, I will call you a fucking fat cow to your face. Because guess what? There's no difference. I will body shame you the fuck right back to your face.
Well, 'cause, I mean,
I like how women though, they're kind of like, you can get away with it by calling it a dad bod. It's funny. We'll make a parody joke about it. I'm like, oh, well, you're chubby.
Right. Cut his cheese size.
Yeah. That's the big thing now I noticed. I'm like, no, dad bod's basically just telling a dude he's fat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Because you can't say it's like with kids or anybody.
Right.
So you can't say, "Hey, you're fucking fat." It's like, "Oh, you've got a dad bod."
Well, you shouldn't say you're. I wouldn't go to a stranger and say you're fucking fat.
Well,
I wouldn't
no,
either.
No, here's
Maybe
the
drop
thing.
the
during
F-bomb.
road
No,
rage.
I wouldn't
would.
either unless I was really drunk.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good point. Because I brought this up to Jay when we had the discussion. What's the difference between me going up to someone that's obese or fat, whatever term you want to use, and going, "You are fucking fat," versus me going up to a smoker going, "Why are you killing yourself?" Me telling you you're fat is the same thing. You really are killing yourself, right?
yeah,
So what's the difference between why?
It
Why
kills
is one
more
that-
than smoking, doesn't it? Every
well,
year,
that's, well, that's
obesity.
my point. Why is it okay for us to pinpoint a smoker and call them out on their shit and say, "Hey, you're killing yourself, and what you have has an effect on me if I'm not around smoking it." Well, mind
'Cause
you, I know an obese person, you being obese doesn't have that much of an effect on me, right?
Unless you're
Right.
ordering food together.
Unless you're
But then you're going to get in the argument where people say, "Dude, I can't help genetics." That's going
See,
to
that's
always
bullshit.
that's always going
and
to be
see
the
now
argument.
that's another good point to bring up is the fact of is it really most time genetics or is it hey just eat less, get out and walk?
You can have-
Sugar's addictive.
Oh, it's a big
is.
it's
Yeah.
a big addict.
You
so,
can
So,
still
I mean,
have-
it's no different than smoking.
You can still have
So
people
why is it,
with
again, why is
thyroid
it okay
problems, and they
for
can
me to
still
go,
be
hey,
fine.
stop smoking in front of me versus me going up to you saying stop being fat in front of me.
There was like a Ameristar casino where we went last night. I mean, God, there's people lighting up everywhere, man. I told Lori that I'm like, it would be way nicer if this place was non-smoking. I could
be there.
I could mind the dad bods as long as they didn't have
I
cigarettes.
can put
in
up with
there.
the fat people as long as they didn't have to smell anything.
Oh God.
But I mean, would that be better for society if we did take that standpoint, where it was okay? When will it be okay to go up to somebody and be socially acceptable for me to go up to you and go, "Hey, you're fat. It's disgusting. Knock it off."
Well, no,
I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous to say it like that.
It'll
you know?
change.
But if you're a smoker, is there no difference from me going to say, "Hey, you're smoking"? It's
Matt, you
ridiculous.
think this is disgusting?
Joe just flashed me?
I can stick my finger in my belly button.
no, but it's
you smell
it'll
it
change.
afterwards?
It's sweaty.
It will change when you have dumb shits like the state of New York or the city of New York telling you how much soda you can have.
Well,
yeah,
no.
go fuck yourself. I'll have 46 ounces or whatever it is. This bullshit. It's like no, you could still have as much as you want. You'll just have to buy more. See, the thing is, no. You can do it, but we're going to tell you how to do it. Fuck you. I'll do what I want. That's the problem with there. It's like
America.
America.
well, no, but it's like I don't need. And like I said, I'm not trying to get all like anti-government things, but it's like, who the fuck are they to tell me that I can have? Because, like I said, if they're going to tell you, no, you can't have beer anymore above size, like the like the mini Coke cans are like 8 ounces. Like, no, you can have more of 8-ounce beers. You can buy more and drink the same, but you have to buy more. See, that's the thing is they want their fucking money. That's
How's
the
that
problem.
different than taxing then? What if they tax sugar? They talked about taxing soda in Illinois.
I know. Well, Illinois is a shit state
treat it like a
anyway, so
smoke
it doesn't
tax.
matter.
Yeah,
Cigarette
exactly.
I think that's a great
I think
idea. That's a
we've
great
established
idea.
Steve does
Get rid
not
of the
like
deficit easily by
Chicago
doing
or
that.
I know,
overall Illinois.
The only thing good about Illinois is it has a nice hockey facility they play at on Monday nights, and that's it. Everything else is shit about
Well,
it.
you used
Well, I like
to
the
play
east
there.
side.
They're going to shut you out now. And they're going to make you pay
And
double
I think
for
we
soda.
spent enough time talking about East St. Louis that that's a beautiful part of Illinois.
Yeah.
You know what? You
Edwardsville
can get
is nice.
shirts that I
It
love.
is.
It has daisies on it, and it just says "Keep East St. Louis
Oh.
beautiful."
Well, yeah. Since you were looking at that, how long do you want to go?
I just thought it was an interesting topic, and Jay, I think we flew right by it. Was with the deficit that our economy takes on, why not tax sugar out the ass? I mean, because obviously there's going to be political parties that say, hey,
That's not
I
gonna
got
do
special
anything.
interest groups that
The-
say, hey, I need
the
to
sugar
not do
lobbyists.
that. It's, basically have a sugar lobbyist and say I need it to keep low because this is how we make all of our money.
They could do the same thing with marijuana.
Exactly.
Oh, you
yeah,
can tax the
right.
hell out of that. and
Dude, our
deficit-
government-
Man, you thought
Legalizing
we were
tax-
lazy before.
Yeah.
All I'm
Speeds up
saying
your
is it would help
metabolism.
with
Give me some
creativity.
joints in an iPad. I'll show you what I can do.
But then that's double serving because then you get the munchies and you'll go out and buy sugary.
Yeah,
things
that's
to eat.
true.
No, he'll eat lots of cake.
I always said
He'll
I-
go out and eat so much cake.
I always said I wanted to open up or go and invest in Taco Bell's out in Colorado. This
Right
was
next
years
to a
ago.
dispensary.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
And now
Good call.
it's just legal. It's just, hey, you're on a gold mine or Chipotle or whatever.
There's fast food
Wow Bao
restaurants around them all over
Wow
the
Bao
place.
Hot Asian Buns, Colorado.
Don't forget about your beer in the freezer.
Oh shit! That's
No,
right.
dude.
Definitely a slush
Let's go see if that exploded.
Oh.
No, it'd
Maybe
be-
I'll just walk my
it'll be
dad
fine.
bod over there in a couple minutes. And I wouldn't really tell.
That's the first time I've
I
ever
really
heard that
wouldn't-
term, though. To be honest, with
Oh,
you. I've never heard that
you just
before.
Google
See, you
It's
don't get on
everywhere.
Facebook much because it was on there a lot.
Really?
Articles about it, yeah.
And it's like that's like the hidden term I think for women to get away with calling a guy fat.
So then what's
But
our
if you say that to a girl, especially on like social media,
Mhm.
You've
you
got a
can't be
pregnancy bod.
hey, you have
That's what
a
I'm saying. Is there
that's
a
a, that's a
word we
really
can-
nice post-pregnancy ass
Well,
you have
is
there.
there a word?
They're
we
gonna
have-
get really mad at you.
Is there a word we have to reciprocate? Because we got dad bod. Is there? Do you call him? That's a mom bod. I mean,
That's
Pregnancy bod.
that's
is that what? Is that an
It's
actual
a.
thing?
No, it's
Hey,
not.
hey, oh, no, I got it. That's
it
a,
will be.
That's a
Somebody
St.
Hashtag
that's a St.
pregnancy
Charles
bod.
County float trip bod.
Because I have called it. I have you ever heard the term mom arms? I've used mom arms before.
Oh yeah.
Or bingo arms.
No, the mom arms, dude. Man, with those things just.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Bingo arms. That's what they call
That's
them.
bingo arms.
Bingo.
Oh, they just fly.
It's like a flag in the
It's
wind.
like a flag in the wind on the
I've never
underarm.
heard of that.
I've never heard of
Or
bingo
like when they're
arm.
mowing the lawn and it looks like a tremor's going.
You're grossing me
You
out.
seen a woman mow the yard before?
Oh, snap.
we're gonna get some woman hatred this
Yeah.
episode.
I do have a dad bod though. I was
Oh, I do too.
I was just walking past a mirror and I mean like I don't want to get I don't want I have small tits right now.
He's an A cup. What can you say?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Okay, fine. Those tampons were for me.
Thanks, Lollapalooza.
Yeah, thanks, assholes. Blow my
All right.
cover.
What else we got?
We've
blown by the hour mark here.
Blown by
So.
it, man. Time flies.
Are
We're
we
talking
doing
about
2
dad
podcasts
bods.
tonight? So
we should.
we could probably fit in like at least one more topic on this one, and then, or you can cut it off.
Well,
at one.
I don't care. What do you want to cut it off here? Do you want to do one more and then cut it off?
Well, let's
The
cut it off.
podcast,
Cut it
not
off.
just long.
Cut off. We'll cut off.
This
Take
is a good
5
ending
and then
point.
come back.
We just pissed off a bunch of women with our last conversation, I guess.
No, see, that's the thing is, I'm gonna tell you, for some reason, I don't know why it is the one-way street effect. They think they can call us that, but you say something like that, it's like, and the feminist will be up your fucking ass quicker than a fucking hemorrhoid, man. It's like, oh my god, you called her a fat bitch. What's wrong with you? It's like,
They'll
she
be up
cut
your
me
ass
off in
unless
traffic.
Melissa Etheridge is on tour or something.
yeah, fuck you, Rosie O'Donnell, you lesbian fuck.
Jesus,
Okay.
well, I wasn't gonna go there. Maybe we should
Hey, if
cut
Donald
the
Trump
podcast
can
up
get
a
away
should
with
minute
have
it,
ago.
cut
I
off
can
before
too.
Steve.
All right,
went on
Donald
a
Trump,
rant.
you don't get to talk anymore this episode.
Steve Trump.
Yeah. Jesus.
But
All right,
hey,
we're gonna-
Tony does have a nice microphone stand, man. Yeah, it actually said from episode 6 to now, It's like I said, these are great. Just we got to get Broken Elbow Matt over here to keep going. Oh.
Okay.
Which they cannot see.
I guess all of our listeners will take your word for it that Tony.
It'll
likes
look like
it.
Sam
Yes.
Bradford's leg after he gets hit with a fucking football helmet, okay?
A blindside
That's a
blitz.
good lead-in, because speaking of broken legs, we'll talk about It Follows when we get back. 'Cause I finally watched it.
So a tease for the next episode. We don't do
man.
that very
That was
much.
a good
Guys,
lead-in.
we need to start doing teases for next episodes. Is what we need to do.
Yeah,
we don't plan that far ahead.
Yeah.
You see, Steve got real excited. He's like,
Ooh.
Next episode, I sit on things. Will it fit?
Oh God.
Cut us off.
This, all right, yeah. This
Cut us
podcast.
off.
I gotta
Tell her
say,
to wrap us up.
this has been a totally different tone from our previous podcast. I must say.
Mostly sober.
Yeah.
Well,
And,
no.
and like
It's-
semi-serious
It's
topics.
the
and shit.
location. We come here.
We
to
are
our
back in the
parents'
command
house.
center.
Everything's fine.
We're
We
in the
didn't tell
command
anybody.
center.
We're back in my parents' basement.
the
Or
command center.
The command
Call
center.
it what it
I'm sorry,
is.
the
Thank
command
you.
center. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for episode 9 of the Nerdcast podcast. Again, check out our website, nerdcast.com. That is NYRDCAST.com. I go by the name of Toner.
I go by the pseudonym Joe Dust.
I'm Jay.
Matt.
Sound guy Steve.
So until next time, do whatever it is you do. Peace.
Take me into your open arms.
Thanks again for listening to the Nerdcast podcast. Be sure to check us out online at nerdcast.com and look for us on social media. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcast. You can also find us on Facebook by searching for Nerdcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to rate or review the podcast on iTunes. Our podcast is part of the Inside Joke Outside Voice Network. Check out IJOV.net for more great podcasts. Our featured music this week comes from the 12 to 6 movement, and this is their song, Three Kings.
Hello, sire. Your guests are here.
Welcome. Hello. Very beautiful. Come over here. Sit down. Would you like some wine, some grapes, some meat?
Welcome to the realm, I'm the king of club. Power shots of vodka, grab some new corruption. Pour me some crown and get me out the dungeon. Topic too low, can't change the subject. Let's hit the road, back in 85. That's a cardinal sin, baby, check your eyes. Holding court, ties, these and thous. Remember your oaths, keep your vows. King in the field, going hard like Sparta. Never feeling threats from the Magna Carta. They want my sucker, they speak it loudly. Rolling Dutches and stacking dowry. All the bounty and booty bounties. Count on her, yeah, she my countess. Her and the queen, fight to swallow it. Split the babies and call me Solomon. Yeah, that's fine, I've been called worse. But trust me, girl, you were not the first.
I'm the king of the scene when I'm in LA, when I'm overseas. I'm the ace of spades. I'm the king of rock when I'm on the stage. I'm the king of the jungle and I'm out the cage. Rule my land with the iron hand. I'm blazing hot for the fireman. Spider-Man shouldn't swing my way. I'm the king of the ring like Cassius Clay. King of hearts, king of pain. The king of the swords and sparks the name of the god of war. Wind and rain, and I kill on the stage till the spits the blade. Crown on the head to protect the dome. King of the castle and I'm on the throne. I'm not an ordinary man, born of blood and bone. I can walk through the fire, pull a sword from stone. Now bow to me and kiss the ring. Girl, stick with me, you'll be the queen.
Caught us swimming out on the net, in a private room for some chat. Webcam had a show on her cat. Pretty kitty, it's a pity you don't live in my city. But next week she was visiting, had some business that needed attendance. Stepped off the plane, first thing that she's getting is passion. So relaxed in my back, she was scratching. Whispered in my ear, baby, you the one. Tell me what it is, I'll get you all that you want. I got a house in LA and one in France, and I'll buy you one here if you give me the chance. I said, girl, you see this crown on my dome? I'll be ruining this land. Every house is my home. Then I rocked her ass silly. You could hear her scream, coming so loud, this was the song she'd sing.